So it seems, my beautiful crypto ladies and gentlemen, that the beautiful bull is back. I mean, if we're taking a look at it right now, Bitcoin back above 119,000, Ethereum back above 3,900, and XRP at $3.30. Now, this on its own may not to you seem like a very big deal, but let me tell you one very crucial thing. These are some very, very big steps to to continue the bull cycle we started a few weeks ago. And really, when you start breaking down the XRP chart here, it's actually quite astronomical just how crazy the opportunity was to buy that dip right back below $3. But here comes the kicker. We've been saying that for most of the coins. We've been saying that about Bitcoin. We've been saying that about ETH. There are so many companies right now that are doing everything in their power to buy as many coins as possible that I've realized one very important thing. One, if you look at the Bitcoin chart, every single time that it broke out of the previous high, we discussed this many times, it was able to go on a massive rally afterwards. That's base number one. Base number two, if the Bitcoin price goes astronomically low, MicroStrategy is screwed. And that would leave every single one of our cryptos screwed as well. You might say no, because I personally think most cryptos will fall by about 80, if not more percent, if this were to happen. And that brings me to point number three, which is, theoretically speaking, we are right now arriving at the best point of the entire bull season, of the entire just altcoin season even. We're getting to that 𝗕𝗓𝗓𝗓, where not everything has gone absolutely exponential, but right at the start of it. And one of the catalysts we've stated many times could be ETH breaking $4,000, which right now we're ticking. I just took another look at my account here, and it's quite interesting to realize that ETH here, our ETH buys, are actually up 50,000. Our recent ETH bought about 2 weeks ago is also about doubled, so that's also very, very nice. The XRP buys, we actually bought ourselves, I think, about $200,000 or so on the dip, and that is also now going to be adding up here. So the trade is now in significantly more profit, even though the high was about 400K. Right now it's only in about 315,000. But, and this is a very, very nice but here, the moment if XRP were to go back to 366, which I still think it is pretty easily going to do here, because again, if you look at this chart even, right, it came back to those previous resistances, tapped in, took some of that liquidity, just siphoned it up, and all of a sudden, right back up, right? It rejected a few times over at about 322, 1, 2, 3 times-ish, and right now broke through right onto the next level, right around the $3.40 mark. Doesn't necessarily have to happen straight away, but that's, of course, our target here. You can see a little moving average struggle, but again, overall, you can definitely try play these tops and these dips. You can definitely play a game right there. We did by trying to sell that top right there and buying back later. But you can see we could have taken a bigger swing. You do not know that whilst it's happening. To prevent yourself from going crazy, just realize that even though I'm not a financial advisor, I personally think, right, I always give my own opinion, not financial advice, no guarantees, that if this market is right now going to enter its craziest phase, and all we had to do historically every single time was just shut up and go for it. And I've said that in the videos yesterday, right? With the all-in video and a few other videos, I explained my strategy even. I'll reiterate it again. In dips, people are scared. When the market's going up and up, they ask to buy. You have to set your mind the opposite way, which is when the market is going down and everybody's getting fearful, hence the price going down, you have to start another strategy, which is to layer in. And when the market is good and good and good, even right here potentially, you could actually exit significant sums of your position if you were buying in hard going down, right? So if you started buying, for example, at 357, you are really, really deep at 297. Maybe on this move upwards again, you're starting to sell the moment it becomes profitable for you just to lower your exposure. This is completely fine. I've already described to you 1,000 times how extremely high my XRP targets are over the season, but that's again over a season. And again, when I look at my freaking accounts for the day, this has been one of the most profitable days in a very, very long time. Even though XRP didn't necessarily move that much here, right? Just today, let's see. From a little bit earlier in the day, we moved up only like 5% or so. It is breaking these barriers. It is breaking these previous barriers we've not seen, for example, for the last week or so that got a lot of people scared. And for ETH as well, breaking above that 3,800, breaking above that 3,900. And maybe you're not seeing it right now, but many altcoins like Cardano also hit some crazy heights earlier in the day. Anyway, my plan is still exactly the same. I just wanted to give a little update here that we are so freaking back, and that every single time the market dips, most people say, nope, this is where we go down a little bit, or what if, or where should we be buying? And I always counter that by saying, if you're asking me where, first of all, I can't give you any advice. I could just give my opinion. But then you've clearly never watched a video of mine before, because I always say, I am a really big fan of layering, meaning you buy once, but you keep continuing to buy as the market moves down. If you're choosing one exact spot, all being at the most interesting support, you may be wrong, right? Looking back at it, for example, you could have really tried banking on the $3.40, which would have worked a few times, sure. But one moment it broke, and if you really went all in right there, you would have had a really not so fun journey down about 12%, right? But if you, for example, had your main bag right there because you wanted to defend that level, right? But then you added a second bag at 323, and then your third bag, for example, at 305. Yes, the price went down a little bit lower. Maybe you also have one at 295. But let's say you didn't anticipate that, you weren't really ready for that. Then still, throughout this period, if you kept going a bit crazier, your average price could have been closer towards maybe the 320s or so. As of this point, you'd again be in profit in just a few days. Again, I told you before, I always like to open these longs over on Blofin. A link for that is down below. But also have myself some nice bots for diversification. And it's partially a hedge because, like I stated before, they basically buy more as the market goes down automatically. And you can see from just letting this run over the past 9 days, this 5,000 XRP bot already generated me about 219 XRP, all verifiable, all very, very easy to follow. You can see all the freaking transactions. You can see all the orders before they're even placed. It is very, very simple to understand. And that's also why I just keep adding to them, even if the market's going up or down. You see me opening new ones all the freaking time. Again, just 2 days ago, we reinvested in this 10K to a million challenge, right? You remember we took out the 5% or so in grid profits, put it right back in at a slightly lower price, which was really amazing. And we're still continuing on with that as well. We right now are at 42,000 with the 10,000 we started with. Things are doing really, really well. Just wanted to quickly say we are so freaking back. And this hopefully has taught a lot of people that if you really are consistent with these dips, if you really believe in it, which I do, it's really not that hard. And maybe, just maybe, this is where ETH breaks 4,000 and the market can really go crazy. But all I will say about that is we shall see.